Welcome back, Big Wigs. So happy to see you all again, to hear from you. We missed you. It's another episode of Big Wigs Podcast. It's Anna and Dre, your hostesses with the mostesses. What's going on? What's up?
I'm sorry. We promised a celebrity catch-up last week, and guess what?
Yeah, we did. We did leave you off with that, didn't we? But it's okay. Yeah. It's fine. What happened,
There are so many of our celebrities that we want to do right now, too. So we're going to have to bang out a couple and just like drop. But
you know, when it rains, it pours, because a lot of our people are hot right now. Sometimes they go ups and downs. You know, it's fun to follow them, and you have to keep up with all of them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's just the season. It's getting hot outside. Summer's approaching, but our celebs are out.
I got to debut Chris's new wig. It's funny because she did the bob a while ago, and I bought a bob, and now in Paris she's only a bob.
Interesting you say that, because do you think it's her real hair and she just slicks it back, or did she add mini extensions?
I don't know. You never know with them. Like,
yeah, I know. You
because either or, they look so good, like real, that I'm like, couldn't even tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. But it is funny when Kris changes it up. Out of all of the sisters, out of all the family, she's maintained the same look.
Yeah.
For since day one of the show. So it's interesting to see her when she does debut the new look. The one that was most shocking was Met Gala a couple years back. Remember when she went blonde?
Oh, yeah. It's funny.
We were shocked.
When she changes her look, she looks like Kim.
She really does. Like, I think they do. They really look similar.
They do. She's so pretty, Kris. Like, she can do anything. Like, whatever work she's had done, I'm like, I don't care. She looks good. Even Jared was like, she looks good. Like, there was a side by side. You know how all the accounts that love to do like the then and now.
Yeah.
And like the work, Kris, the facelift she's had, like the work she's had looks so good. Like, she looks the best she's ever looked, I think.
They really are aging like fine wine. I mean, regardless of the work they've had done, they really look good.
I was going to say, what is it if it's not fine wine? Like, they're aging like a scientist making a robot. Like, they're like, they're getting like pieced back together in a way, like same with J-Lo, in a way that's like, like, it doesn't look bad to me. You know, it doesn't look too much. Like, when people are like, it's too much. Like, when they criticize like Joan Rivers or Dolly Parton, or like, you know, there are a lot of female actresses where they're like, you know,
it's gone too far. Yeah, the filler has really, it's transformed their face. We call it the Lindsay Lohan or the Anne Hathaway, because them bitches, that's crazy. And then there's so many other stars that I actually don't even think they've done a lot of work. Like, I was looking at an old movie with Gabrielle Union. The girl looks exactly the same.
Yeah, good work.
So I don't know if it's good work. Maybe it's just that they got really great genes.
You're very naive to it. I'm always like, nope, they've had lip filler. Nope, they've had they've had a facelift. They've had this. They've had that. Like, I think I'm like so into it because I'm gonna do it all. Like, at this point, you know. Like, I have like a couple more years till my first facelift.
You're like, we're waiting. We're counting down the days.
I just need to make the money to be able to do it, though. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it is worth it though. I'm gonna find a way to write it off. Catch me up on what's happening, because you just had a really, really big
day, big weekend,
big day that you had. We're recording this a little bit later in the afternoon. I mean, not too much later than we usually do, but yeah, I'm gonna try to bring it up. I've had 3 coffees today. I'll try to bring up the energy. And but you had a really big day, so you should be excited.
So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys who are listening saw, but last week on Sirius, like Instagram, like Sirius XM Instagram, they were like, enter, or like, want to see the women of And Just Like That at a town hall moderated by Andy Cohen, like RSVP here and tag a friend or whatever, you know, like one of those, like, I was like, this feels fake, right? But I saw that it was happening. So, you know, I fucking like did my like research. I was like, who in my universe do I know, you know, who could get me in for that? And it wasn't even like in like tickets. Like, I don't know if anyone hasn't been to Sirius XM Radio. They do these a lot, these kind of like town halls or whatever for different shows, for different press opportunities, you know, like, and it's kind of like the studio that's like, it's in glass. So like people can like stand around and watch, and it's small. It's not like a big thing. So I texted like my friends who have had shows at Sirius. Like, I was like, is there anyone there who can just get me on this list?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't need any special attention. I just need to go. And I don't know. I commented on the Instagram post for Radio Andy or whatever, like, ... Miranda, I must go. And
good plug.
thank you. People know when I Miranda someone in the comments, they know who I am. They click and see who I am. And I am Steve. And I got an email Friday afternoon, and it was like, congrats, you've got 2 tickets you have to RSVP before like 9 a.m. tomorrow to confirm your spot on Monday. And I was like, oh my God, it was like the best news ever. It was like I booked a movie. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I get to go and see them and like maybe like meet Cynthia Nixon. Like, it's funny because I've seen her in person a couple of times, but not since I've done the impression, not in a way where I could be like, it's me. That
totally
person. And now that she stitched my video, I know she knows who I am. And so my friend came with me and we went today. And you guys, I'm off the heels of like meeting the fucking Sex and the City is the only show I watch like over and over and over and over and over again. I had seen Kristen Davis at an Earth Cafe once in LA that scarred, that was like the best thing ever. And I had never seen SJP in real life. That I can remember. I've never seen her in real life.
That's
so
crazy. Oh my God.
Also, Sarita and Nicole Ari Parker were also there, who play Seema and Lisa on the show. I kind of felt bad for them because they're both like great actresses and they're so talented and great. But it's hard being on a press tour with the other 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was like the 3 and then they were in the back. Like, I sent you a photo and Andy was moderating it and so there were like maybe like 50 or 60 people there today. And
that's a huge turnout for that small little space though. Is great.
Oh, we were on like, everyone was on like stools, like standing around. Like it was like, it was packed.
Yeah.
And they did their talk. It was basically like, I don't think it's going to air, I think for another week. Cause they were like episode 1. They were talking a lot about episode 1. And I was like, okay. And before they like started, you heard Cynthia Nixon go, and when does this air? Like, because they have to like fake it. All these shows fucking tape like we do. We all fake it. Like,
totally.
Today, yesterday. And so it goes, I took so many photos. I'm like, I can't believe I'm like this close to them. Like, this is so, like, I'm just fangirling out over the show and them. And then they were like, if you plan on staying for a photo, please line up here. And I was like, a photo, like
me.
I thought, just like the Getty photos of you went to Sirius XM, which every time I would do like Michelle Collins or whatever, they always have the photographer and you take your photo like you were here, because they have their like in-house photographers. So I was like, wait, like a photo like with them, and then they like leave and go back around and I go, oh my God, we're gonna get a photo with them. This is me. I did not expect them all to do photos. Like,
right, I know, it was like, this is a real photo opportunity.
You ever see SJP hanging out on a step and repeat?
Yeah,
taking multiple photos. Like,
never.
I'm blown away by this. So so here's the thing. I wore a white t-shirt and jeans. I wore a blazer and I wore my Steve shirt around my neck. Okay. Like I'm at a fucking, golf outing. And I brought the wig in the bag. Okay. Yeah. Shoved the wig down in the bag. And I thought, here's the thing. So we're in line and they're taking these photos and I'm like, okay, I should just put the wig on for the photo. I don't need a fucking Getty photo of me with them. Like I look like shit. I look tired. I was like, the whole point is Steve gets to meet Miranda. But then they go, okay, we're doing it in groups of 4. You'll be in groups of 4 for the photos because the women weren't going to take a single with everyone.
Of course. So
then my friend is like, well, these photos are going to like live in someone else's phone too. Like, and I was like, whatever. They don't know who I am or
right.
Steve,
Right.
But then I thought, like, if they say something, like, I'm jeopardizing now 4 of us, if they're like, can you not, like, do any funny business? Like, there were security guards, okay? And it was very much like, please go here, take your photo, and then you can scan the QR code as soon as you leave by the elevators to find your photo later when it's uploaded. It was very like systematic.
No funny business.
And I'm panicked because I'm like, I gotta fucking do it. So we go up to take the photos. I'm not in the wig. I want you guys all to know. I just went up I was like, Anna, just be respectful.
Yeah.
Go up. And I said, and my friend is like, well, we're before the other two women in our photo, so you got to go next to Cynthia. And I was like, duh.
Yeah.
So I go up and I go, hi. And she's so nice. She's like, hi. I go, I'm the comedian who does Steve. And she goes, Miranda? And I go,
stop.
yeah. And
She
goes,
knew immediately.
Miranda? And I'm dead. I'm like, oh, yes, that's me. And then we take the photos and I go, oh my God, can we do like a Miranda together? And she goes, of course we can. Absolutely. And then we get to say hi to all of them. And then Kristen Davis. So she was next to like Sarita and Nicole. I don't know if they knew who I was. Like they were like, oh, cool. Like they were like nice. And then I say to Kristen Davis and Sarah Jessica Parker, I'm like stars. I'm like, I'm the girl who does Miranda. And Kristen Davis goes, oh, I've seen your videos. Oh my God, it's so funny. And Sarah Jessica Parker goes, oh yeah. And I'm like, okay, she's faking it really well. I don't think she's seen my videos, but I'm gonna go with it. And then they're like escorting me out. And I was like, well, no, Cynthia Nixon said we could do a Miranda. So I'm like standing there and the guy's like, ma'am, I'm like, stop ma'aming me. Okay. He's like, you're going to have to go. The QR code's out there. You're going to have to get in the elevators now. And I'm like, Anna, just fucking wait it out. And then Dre, I'm in the elevator bank. Okay. And they're kind of done the photos. I like waited. I like kind of, where's the QR code? I'm like walking around. And I said to my friend, I go, I got to fucking go. I got to do it. I got to get her before.
You got to do it.
And the door opens. Someone's coming out. And I sneak in. And you hear them go, excuse me. She was, and I see her and I go, can we just do one? And she goes, no, she's good. She's good. And she puts her arm around me and I get my one little fucking Miranda. I think she thought it was a photo, which I also took, but I was like, and then I said to her, I was like, thank you so much. She goes, it's so funny. And I said, David Egerberg's so nice too about it. We've DM'd a couple times. And she's like, he's the best. She was like, my whole heart. And I was like, love you.
You did
just
the dance
like that.
And just like that. Listen, even if you didn't have the full wig on, that would have been too much, actually. I think this was even better that you just...
You're making me feel better. And as a fellow impressionist and my podcast co-host, I was like, she'll make me feel better. Because I'm kicking myself. I'm like, Anna, why didn't you just put on the wig when you snuck back in? But I really didn't want to get put on a blacklist at Sirius XM. Like I worked there sometimes. You know what I mean?
They would have had your picture on the do not let enter list. And you really would have been in trouble. No, I think it was perfect. I think you humanized yourself. It was a real interaction between two people. Like you're a lover of the show and of both of their characters. And the whole Miranda bit is so great. The problem with us is we're just so stuck in we need to get into character and put a wig on. But you can also do the voice just with you. So I think it still had the same effect.
I sure hope so. But, you and I talk about this. Like, you don't want to ambush. I would never want her to be like, that was too much. Like, is this person stalking me? That was too much. Yeah. I think she loved that I was like, it's me. I do. And she's like, yes, it is. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You left it on good terms. You don't want to freak these people out, okay? Because they're meeting a bunch of people that they never met before. So... I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want to do that. And there is a fine line between being an obsessive fan and having them say it's too much. That'll still have the same effect online. Once you post that, people are still going to love it and still going to say, oh my God, you got to meet her. You literally got to meet Miranda.
It was the best. Little does she know I have met her a couple of times before. Not introduced hi, but I've seen her in person a couple of times. They were all so beautiful too. I was just like... God, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Whatever they're drinking. And they made fun of, you'll hear it on the episode if anybody listens to Sirius, but they all made fun of Cynthia Nixon for her Tupperware. Like she brings Tupperware wherever she goes. Like they were on set, to events, to whatever. And Sarah Jessica Parker's like, she always has celery. She always has nuts or some sort of and then she goes, oh, well, I eat the same lunch every single day unless I'm out. And Andy's like, what's your lunch? And she literally, she builds a fucking sweet green salad. She's like, kale, quinoa, sweet potatoes, pickled red onions, avocado. She listed a whole, I was like, this is her lunch every single day.
That sounds delicious.
Wait, and Andy goes, you are such a lesbian.
And you got to have the nuts in there and the greens and she drives a Subaru.
I died. And she was like, I am. And Andy was like, I was like, the fact that he just like fucking said that
I know.
is so funny.
They're at that level. They can just say anything.
Because he also like, I don't think he cares. You know, he had cue cards. He had like a whole, agenda.
Yeah.
But he also like, he's friends with SJP. He's a fan of the show. He was on Sex and the City. Like he can kind of just like, get away with it. I think like other people couldn't unless you're Andy Cohen. Because he also, I'm sure in their like outline, it's like, do not bring up Samantha, right? You're not supposed to bring up Samantha when you're being pressed for and just like that. But he was like, so we don't have Samantha anymore. And you see Kristen Davis's eyes go like wide. And I was like, but he was like, but Sarita, your character, Seema, she is just sexy. She's kind of filling that hole. And I was like, oh my God, he's just going there. It was really funny.
I love it. That reminded me of, did you see Cynthia's Instagram video where she gives a tour of her kitchen in the Hamptons?
No. Montauk?
In Montauk, yeah. And it gives off that same thing about the plastic containers. She had like a million vases on the top of the cabinets, and then she had nuts that she was holding. It's very the crunchy granola vibe, and but it's perfect. I love it.
Like people always say like, oh, they look so amazing, and I'm like, when I'm that rich and successful, I'm gonna look that amazing too, because someone else can cook me that fucking lunch every day or shop for me so I have it available. I can go in my fridge. I could grab that fresh raspberry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone, the chicken's already there. Like, right now sometimes it's like I'm starving. I've had zero time. I'm going to live off Pringles today. And that's just the day,
Yeah, I've been there. Been there.
My skin's breaking out. Why? Oh, I ate a bag of kettle chips for dinner last night. I'm sorry. That's where sometimes I'm at.
Yeah, I'm always impressed by the people that fully make themselves dinner. Martha Stewart says, I think you told me this. She was doing an interview and she says, I've never ordered in. I never do takeout. What?
I call bullshit. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Martha got stoned and I think someone else fucking ordered for her. Maybe she didn't push the buttons on her phone on the app.
You mean your assistant ordered in for you? Yeah, that makes sense. I just in my mind would love to have that. Would be your Susie Homemaker, but no, that's unrealistic, especially in our day and age when you can push a button and you have any food you want delivered to your door.
Yeah, literally. Tell me about you. Tell me about your weekend. I know you didn't meet Cynthia Nixon, but
yeah,
other big things in your life.
I didn't meet Cynthia Nixon. But I did get the reason why New York is so great. There's a million bajillion things going on at once in this city. So I got a little ad for the Manhattan Vintage Show, which happens twice a year, I want to say, in Manhattan for a weekend. And then they also do one in the Hamptons.
Okay.
It's a huge curated big room of all of these top vintage sellers. Some of them have stores and some of them just strictly do Instagram and online business. But I saw it, and it's even for people who just love to walk around and look at trinkets. It's just such a cool, interesting thing. But I signed up. You can get a day pass. I went in. I was immediately overwhelmed. Like you go in. It's like going into a tchotchke antique store with every single type of designer bag you can imagine. It's so cool. I wanted to buy everything, but it wasn't. You can't think of it like a yard sale. Like these are still expensive things because these items you can't find anymore. So if there's like a real legit Gucci bag from 1995, it's gonna be still like $900.
Yeah.
So you got to go in there. But the people in there, amazing people. Like it's like artists and all of these interestingly dressed people. It was
good people watching.
Oh my God, the best. I met two amazing, it was a mother-daughter duo, and they talked me into buying this cool embroidered leather jacket. They're like, we're not going to get it, but you should totally get this. It's so your vibe. You could wear it to a Knicks game. You could wear it every. Did you get it? I bought it. I was like, ladies, it's $300. Like, stop pushing this jacket on me, but I'm also obsessed.
Wait, I want to see it.
I have it right here, actually.
Oh my God, show it to us.
Okay, so it's got all New York things.
So cute.
I have the zoom thing
cool.
on where you can't. I don't know if it's a little hazy. You can't really see the.
But it's embroidered.
Yep.
I love it.
Full embroidered. It's a cinched at the bottom, and
it's a bomber.
It's a bomber jacket. It's got the Empire State Building on it. It says New York, And then it's just got the
Does
New
it have
York
the Twin
logo.
Towers, or are we post 9/11?
That would actually be so cool. It's got the Jets on here, the Empire. But yeah, I don't see the Twin Towers. That's really
probably for the best, you know.
I know. The memory would be amazing though. Yep. But really cool. Really cool stuff. I found my mom she loves the old Coach saddlebags, crossbody. They're leather and they have this clasp. She used to have one ages ago, but I found her a really good condition one, so I got that for her. And then I got another leather jacket. I found this it's a French company, but it's a nice little cute crossbody leather bag I got myself, and then some scarves.
So you shopped?
I was shopping, but I wanted, oh my God, there was so many unique one-of-a-kind items. There was this one bag. I think I'm going to make a whole video about it because of all the cool things I saw, but I only went for one day and I only had maybe 4 hours there, and the time did not exist. But by the time I walked out of there, it was 6:30 when it was closing. I had every intention of only spending 2 hours in there, but to go to every vendor, I mean, you need 3 full days. It's insane. Yeah. But the coolest, fun people were in there. And I mean, the jewelry, the old Chanel belts. I was going insane, Anna. You would have been obsessed too. Like all the old Fendi the Dior saddlebags, beyond. But you need at least $10,000 to walk in there and do damage. Like that's how much money I wanted to walk in there with. But obviously, I was not with that type of money.
You did a little damage.
I did a little damage.
Leave empty-handed.
Totally. I mean, you can't walk in there and not get something. But there were some items where I thought, am I being gypped? Like, is this a real bag? You know what I mean? And then some people I talked to, they were saying you can go to Canal Street and get the same type of vibe for $30. But it's about the quality and the real leather and the history of it all. It was so cool.
Girl, I don't judge. I like the real deal.
Right. And I wanted
I'm a real deal girly. I'll save my pennies. I'll save them.
Save them, and then you buy yourself something really, really expensive and nice, and it's a gift. But I mean, I wanted to go back. But there is another one that's happening in the Hamptons, I think, in a month. Maybe we'll find ourselves out there.
Happens. I can't remember the name of it, but in Brooklyn they do it. And my favorite vintage stores go and participate. I can't remember the name. They do it in LA and Brooklyn, and it's another really good show. It'll come to me. I'll send it to you, or I'll post it when I find it. But it's I can't remember the name right now. But my friends who have the store on Bedford, who are shout out, they follow me and maybe they listen to the show, but they participate in this big show that happens. So well, same thing with me. I have a Zara box downstairs at my doorman, so I too shopped.
You too. Look, I'm all about the high low. I want to buy, like, I love having a super nice item, but then mix and match. But the vintage shopping is just so good. Sometimes you find some real treasures that you didn't even know. You walk in those places and you don't even know what you're going to find. That's what's fun about it. It's a treasure hunt.
It is.
So many good stuff. But that was my weekend.
I love that. Well, we had an amazing catch up with our cruise family last week,
the Absolutely Not Heather McMahan crew. Yes.
You guys, we will never do an episode now of this show without bringing up the cruise.
It's our buzzword.
It is our buzzword. We do have to take a break in a minute, but I just want to casually mention that night. That night was epic. Raymond, Tina, Heather, you and me, and we all got a great dinner together on the Upper East Side. Bomb dinner. And then we went to a bar. It's so funny. We tried to go to the Carlisle, and it was busy on a rainy Tuesday night, which is just rude. I wanted to be like, do you know who she is? She's Heather fucking McMahan. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but
they were like, you could stand at the bar for $20 a person. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No.
Yeah, and it was my first time there, and Heather was talking it. She was explaining it to me. She was like, it's this old school, like the piano and the vibe and the ambiance. Oh my
God, it's the best. And Elaine Stritch lived there, which Heather didn't know. I'm like, watch the documentary. She lived there.
That's so cool.
At the Carlisle.
And we couldn't even get sat. I mean, they just told us, grab a 1-inch section at the bar.
It's okay. We ended up at the Mark Hotel, which is just another chic spot.
We did.
John George does the food there, my old boss. And if you guys watch the Met Gala, the Mark Hotel is where everyone comes out of. Like, that's where they all get ready for the Met Gala.
How do you get that job, though? Like, as the Mark Hotel, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
how did they get to be the home of the Met Gala exits? You know, it's because it is close proximity, but there's also other hotels nearby that could have done the same exact thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of them have it, but the Mark is like, I guess has become the like elite people come out of the Taylor Swifts of the world come out of there or whatever. Yeah. So that's where the paparazzi like parks it, because you can't be in all places at once, right?
Of course.
But what a fun night. Like, didn't you have the best time? I love hanging out with them. I feel like we're like a cruise. Like once you've cruised together, you're on a new level of friendship.
Yeah, it's so true. And I also loved watching Heather order the food in person. It was a sight to be seen because she knew exactly what she wanted. She ordered for the table, and she even told them.
And she was good to me. She goes, "Do you have any dietary restrictions?" Yeah. And I hate when people ask me that because I have to be like, all of them. Yes.
But she was good about it. She was like, no, I respect it. And she actually guessed what you had.
I can still eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never leave hungry. And if I do, I'll eat something after. I'm not one of those people that's like, me, make sure I'm fed. Like, I could give a fuck. I eat plenty in my life. I eat at fine dining. I can make it work wherever I go. You know? Yeah. If we're at a birthday party and they only have large pizzas, that's where I struggle. And you know what? I'll eat after.
I'll grab a bag of Doritos after. No, here's my impression of Heather ordering a dirty martini. I'll take a slightly dirty Chopin vodka, okay? 1 olive, and I want the glass chilled. And then the server goes, ma'am, we don't have Chopin. She goes, yes, you do. It's right next to the Grey Goose. I see the bottle there. Yeah. I was amazed. Our girl knows her vodka bottles. It was very impressive. And the guy said, he was like, do we really? She was like, yeah, you do. When I walked in, I saw the bottle. It's great.
It was so funny. No, I love that. And I love, like, I think it's funny because a lot of people are naive to ordering like a martini, and
of
girls
course
just think it's so fucking trendy that they have to order a martini. I'm like, you don't even like it. Don't order it if you don't like it.
Don't order it if you don't love it. I got into it because I was sold on the blue cheese stuffed olives. So once I saw that, it was over for me. Then I loved it.
Don't you remember what I told you when I was bartending back in the day? And they asked for blue cheese olives, and I'd be like, "Oh, we're out," because I hate blue cheese. Even when I ate cheese, I mean, I didn't eat cheese then, but I hate the smell and taste of blue cheese so much that I was like, I'm gonna lie to these people because there's no fucking way I'm stuffing an olive with blue cheese, because it wasn't like now places have it like done. You know what I mean? It's part of their prep.
Yeah,
but back then they didn't, because it wasn't really ordered all that much. So if someone ordered it, I'd be like, no, I'm so sorry. Is my boss around? I'm like, no, we ran out.
Yeah.
Fully lie. I would lie about wine too. I would be like, this Sauvignon Blanc is amazing, because it was a twist off. I didn't want to fucking do the whole open the wine at the table. Anna,
what the fuck? I would have fired you on the spot if you were my employee.
Well, that's why I was never a good server or bartender. I'd lie, and I wouldn't do my job well. I ran the door like a boss. I was
that you can have that years. Job. Yeah, that's your job for sure.
For sure. I knew the VIPs. I made the money. I made it happen. I made the fucking floor work. I fucking killed as a maitre d'. But it was so fun to hang out with them. And guys, spoiler, but can we spoil it? We may or may not be on an upcoming Absolutely Not podcast. So stay tuned.
Cannot wait for that. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, I think so.
We're scheduled. We're
on the books, so it's definitely happening. Yeah, definitely can't wait for that. It amaze.
All right, we got to take a quick break, but we're gonna be back with we got a lot of tea to talk about. We got a lot of tea.